Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. Today, guys, I'm going to do some brief technical analysis here on XRP. So there's obviously been a few interesting things that have been going on recently in terms of the price action. So I want to keep you guys up to date with what I think is likely to happen next. Now, if you find this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. Right, with all that said, done out of the way, let's jump on down into this analysis here and see what's going on with XRP, right? So ultimately, we've had a pretty good push upwards. This was an ABC move that actually had an impulsive break in the middle of it on the micro scale. Now, if we actually zoom in here, you can see that we've had a breakdown. So we completed the fifth wave higher, and then essentially we've had 5 waves come down as well, right? So very, very choppy. 1, 2, 3. Let me just grab that there, and 4 and 5, right? That looks to complete that move down here for XRP. So all of that is done. So the impulsive move downwards is over, which is good, and it means that we can now think about what's next, right? And here we can actually see the ABC move upwards, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly remove that Fibonacci retracement tool, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like for a second. We have A wave, we have B wave, we have C wave, and we want to obviously just check, right? Is this meeting our expectations of this ABC move? If we grab hold of this and we transpose it over here, we can see that we've basically hit the 1-to-1 ratio with the A to the C. Slight overwicking here and there, but near enough that it's actually hit us exactly where we wanted to. Now that C wave high also comes in on resistance at 75 cents. Okay, so again, this is another area of heavy resistance. You just have to look back here to see all of the selling pressure that had built up around 75 cents. So to see a 1-to-1 ratio also hit this area, an obvious reversal was going to happen. Now at this point, we can obviously acknowledge that there is some kind of going to be, or some kind of corrective action is to follow. And normally after an ABC up, you would see an ABC down. It might turn impulsive or whatever, but for the most part, you tend to find that they alternate. Okay, well, I say they do, they just alternate. So if you go up, your next move is down. And again, this is just psychology of traders. You kind of get an idea and a bit of a flavor to the rhythm and the rhyme of it over time. So when it comes to ABC up, we can now see ABC down. We obviously are lowering that hourly stochastic RSI. So this here could be our bounce point, this being wave A. We move up, B wave is unpredictable. We don't really know where it's going to go, but we'd imagine that we're going to find some kind of resistance somewhere on this journey. I'm going to pop it about here, about 74.4. And this is going to be an area of resistance based on what was happening over here with these previous A waves or this fourth wave high. And then what we can do is we can measure this distance then on our A wave, and we'll hypothetically just say that our B wave comes in at about that 74.4, and then our C wave should come down to about 72.9. And again, if we actually shoot on back here, this is an area that would be resonating incredibly well with buyers, right? So right now we can actually see this is going to be a pretty short-lived C wave down or ABC wave down. I'm going to just quickly mark this up with a yellow box just here, right? So this area here, this is going to be the area that we're probably going to find most of the support on, so 72 cent, and it could range a little bit, and I'll move this up a tad. Basically, I think it's going to be about there, 72.9 to 72.1, right? Somewhere in that kind of range. That's where we're likely to find this ABC to finish. And once that is done, then we, of course, we'll be looking at ABC move upwards as a bare minimum. Now, it's impossible. It is possible, of course, that this goes impulsive by hitting that 1.382, making that 1, 2, 3 waves, a fourth wave up, and then a drop down lower. But we won't know that until the time comes as to whether or not we hit 71.9. If we hit 71.9, that's an impulsive move, and therefore we should be preparing ourselves for a fourth wave bounce before a fifth wave low, and then an ABC to the upside afterwards. Now that stochastic RSI that I mentioned earlier, this one is obviously correcting. I think this whole move here would basically get us into an oversold area, and that would be exactly what we want here for XRP to see the reversal to the upside. So that's nothing here that's indicating to me that we need to go impulsive or anything like that, and we're making pretty good work with that stochastic RSI at the moment. Okay, and obviously if we're into our trend lines, then we can also acknowledge that this would be potentially a higher low than we had previously. So again, looking pretty good from that perspective. Now, as we come up into the larger time frames, we can see the 4 hourly has moved out of the oversold area a little bit. This correction would bring it back down, and that would be putting that into a pretty good spot. The 8-hourly chart does need also a little bit more of a correction, so we could start to see this one also pull back down into the oversold area, and the daily does need to see a little bit of a correction as well. We obviously have good expectations here for XRP on this daily chart to move on up, into that range of $1, that kind of dollar threshold. But I think this comes in a little bit later than expected. But we should be targeting out that over the next few weeks into months before we start to see any corrective action. And then when we zoom on out a little bit further, you can see that this is actually inside this triangular wedge, and then from here we're going to get an explosive move to the upside. And I've hypothesized on our streams and a few other videos for XRP that with closure to the case, we should see explosive moves out of here. And it wouldn't surprise me if we absolutely get blown away with some of the amount of FOMO that might actually kick in for XRP at that time, as it starts to get clarity over what classification it's going to have in the US. So whether that's $5, whether that's $10, you can kind of speculate that. But once these waves start forming, we'll have a very good idea as to where this thing is likely to go afterwards. So guys, I am going to leave the video there. I do want to kind of let you know that there is going to be some volatility on this smaller time frame. We are expecting a pullback. I'm thinking it's going to land us in that kind of sweet spot just down here, anywhere between these areas of 72.9 and 72.1. This seems to be a good area for us to kind of go into before moving on, backwards to the upward direction, back towards that $1 threshold for XRP. If you have found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.